What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the J&J podcast. I am joined again by Mr. Jones for Sports. He is back. If you guys missed it, I was actually on his show last night. So
Yep.
I don't think it's out yet, right?
No, it's not. It is out yet. I just haven't put up any shorts or anything like that.
Yes.
It's coming right now. I'm still in the process of editing.
All right. So by the time this comes out, make sure you guys go watch that too. It was a good episode. We got to talk some NFL, some NBA.
Yeah.
But today we will be doing one question for every single NBA team. And then at the end, we'll give our NBA Cup predictions. But appreciate you for coming back on. It was the
Absolutely.
first, and hopefully we could keep doing this.
Absolutely. Definitely more to come.
All right. Since you're the guest, do you want to pick the first team? I didn't really have an order. We could just.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, I didn't. I guess we can start with. Let's go with one of the weaker teams. Oh, okay. Let's go with the Pelicans. Do you want me to start with the question? How did you want to do this? You wanted to start. Did you want me to start the first one?
Yeah, you could pick a team. You start off first, and then I'll just answer
All right.
off. I'll just pick up where you left off.
My first team that I wanted to start with is the Pelicans.
Okay.
You guys finally going to make the move and be done with the Zion Williams experiment, because clearly it hasn't worked out for you guys. It hasn't really worked out for him. Are you guys going to start pretty much? I mean, you guys are already in a rebuild, but really just restarting from the bottom. That's my question for them, because it's like a lot of teams have already. I mean, a lot of people have said they should have been moved on from this experiment. Clearly, it didn't work out like they expected for both teams, and obviously, there's rumors about Zion not wanting to leave. So, my question for them is this experiment over?
Yeah, my thing was pretty similar. My question was, when will you start the rebuild process? Because obviously they traded their first round pick to the Hawks to move up to get Derek Queen. And Derek Queen looked really good,
Yeah.
but you could have had a top 3 pick potentially in this upcoming draft class, which is looking to be really, really stacked. The only way this trade could be justified is if Derek Queen ends up being better than one of those top 3 guys.
Exactly.
It's possible, but the odds of him doing that is really tough. But I feel like the only way you could get the right type of compensation is if you begin the rebuild process now. I know Zion's value isn't what it was, but I feel like just keeping him around at this point, you're not doing anybody any favors.
Exactly.
I know a report came out recently that they're not really interested in moving Herb Jones. I don't know why, but I think he would probably give you the biggest return, either him or Trey Murphy. Those two guys right there, you're going to get most of your returns back from them too. So I think it starts with making those moves. Will they do it? I don't know, but I think that'll be the step in the right direction.
Yep, I agree 1000%.
All right, I'll pick the next team. Next team, I will do the Detroit Pistons.
Ooh, that's a good one. That's a good one.
Was, do you make a move or stand pat? What I mean by that is, with the great start to the season that they've been having, do they try to capitalize and make an all-in move now, or do they just keep doing what they're doing? We're not gonna mess around with the pieces what we got. We're just gonna keep improving. The conference isn't that strong, but we need to do that. Because I look at this team, I think they could go to the conference finals. And I don't think they have to make a home run move to make the NBA finals. I think it really just comes down to matchups, right seeding, um, and the way they play. I think they should really battle well against any team in the Eastern Conference. So I don't really think they need to panic and make a big time move, especially in the Eastern Conference. I think you're gonna match up well with all of these teams. I feel like they would only make a move if, like, I don't know, if you made the finals and you really got smacked up or something. I don't know. I
Right.
don't I don't really see something where they have to rush and make a crazy move. I know people talked about, oh, maybe AD to the Pistons, but I think as of right now they're all really young, so they could
Yep.
kind of just ride this out and then just see where it goes from here.
Yeah, I'm with you. That would be my same question for them, and my answer would be the same as yours. Is you have a young team. Why get rid of some of those pieces when you're winning now, especially in a weaker East this year? That you have an opportunity to develop those guys and really make a strong push. So I'm definitely with you on that one. That would definitely be. Something they're probably thinking about, but I feel like the only way they make a move this upcoming trade deadline is if they start to slip and then they see, an opportunity for a really good another star player to go along with Cunningham to pair with him. But it has to make sense. If it doesn't make sense for now and your future, then it would be a dumb move. Right now, I would stay pat. You have a good young team.
Yeah.
All right, for me, next team, let's go with the Wizards. I'm
Okay.
gonna go with the Wizards. Wizards, when are you guys gonna actually compete? That's my question because it's been a long goddamn time. Last time you guys were competitive was when John Wall and Bradley Beal was there, and it just seems like you guys are just okay with being ass now. There was a point where we used to like watching the Wizards. John Wall, uh, uh, Bradley Bill, Gilbert Arenas. Like the Wizards used to be an actual name that you wouldn't mind watching that team play. Now it's like you hear the Wizards, you don't really care to watch. At least me personally, you don't care to watch the Wizards anymore. And I feel like that. I just feel bad for that city. I feel like that city deserves more than that. At least they should be competitive. And it doesn't seem like that organization is trying to be competitive. I don't know if that has anything to do with, um, uh, them trying to come back from the financial debt that they probably went through with Bradley Bill's contract and stuff like that. I don't know if they're still trying to get out of that or whatever deals they're dealing with, but it just seems like they're not even trying to be competitive anymore. So my question is, when are you guys going to start?
Yeah, I had basically the same question. I said, when can we start seeing the rebuild pay off? Because they've just been ass for so long. Um, just picking in the top six, top five.
Yeah.
I know Alex Sarr was the second pick. That was the worst draft, and that was the highest they picked since John Wall. Every other draft they don't really pick as high. But
Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna get to a point where, like, yo, the clock is ticking. We're not saying you got to be a playoff team, but you guys can't be 15th place every
Yeah.
single year.
Every
Like,
year.
we got to see at least you guys jump up to 12, 11, maybe playing one year.
Yep.
Um, but they just been consistently bad. Maybe this year's draft will be the year where they're like, all right, we kind of got the pieces what we like, and then we'll just make some gradual improvements and just wait for these guys to grow internally.
All
But,
right.
yeah, man, it's been bad. This team hasn't they haven't been good since like the late 2010s. I mean, I know
Yeah.
they made the playoffs once with Russell Westbrook in 2021,
Oh yeah, that's true. I forgot about.
but
Yeah, nobody really remembers
but
that.
when you make it once, when you make it once and you don't go back,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. Like that doesn't even count.
yeah, that don't even really count. So I feel like it's been really since like the late 2010s where the Wizards were like like a team where like, oh shit, the Wizards.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, it's just when are we gonna see the rebuild pay off?
Yep.
My next team is the Atlanta Hawks. Can this team be successful with Trae Young returning? Their record this year without Trae Young, I believe, is 12-9. I think they lost last night, but we see with the absence of Trae Young, this team is playing really well defensively. They're playing really good. Is Trae Young gonna hamper that with his inefficient scoring? Because the last couple years, his efficiency is going down. I remember talking about it last year with Jordan that he was shooting like under 40% from the field, and people were saying, "Oh, it doesn't matter. His counting stats are good. He should be an all-star." I'm like, bro, nobody that's shooting under 40% should be an all-star. I'm sorry. This isn't the early 2000s. So inefficient uh, scoring, his 3-point percentage is going down.
Yeah.
Liability defensively. So I'm like, if he's not making you pay when other teams is going and drop, and he's a liability defensively, it kind of hurts what this team is trying to do with all the defense that's going around them. So, and I think he should be returning soon. So that's my biggest question for them. Because this isn't the first time. Because I remember last year, at the beginning of the year, he got hurt, and they started to look real good. I remember they beat the Celtics in Boston in one of the NBA Cup games. So that's just something I got my eye out for. Obviously, Trae Young's a really talented player, so I just want to see how everything will mesh when he comes back. But that's something I'm definitely paying attention to.
Yeah, my question is basically piggybacking off of your question. If this doesn't work out when he does come back, when are they going to pull the plug on the Trae Young experiment? Because, like you said, this team has shown a lot of times with him out of the lineup that they are a good team. And if you're a GM, at least in my position, if I'm a GM and I'm seeing a bunch of young guys performing well without their superstar, that's something that I'm looking at. Like, okay, they're playing well. We can obviously build off of this without our superstar. Maybe he's not the superstar we need for this team. Maybe it's someone else. So maybe you start looking for pieces to trade for with Trae Young while he's still he's still in his prime. You know, he hasn't been playing well of this year, but I would say he's still in his prime. I think he's still in his late 20s, like 28, 29 or something like that.
Yeah.
Might have hit 30, but even still, like he's pretty young. So, not pretty young, but not into the ages where you got to worry about a downfall. But small guy, obviously takes a beating. Been in and out of the lineup the last few years. So that's something, if I'm a GM, I'm definitely thinking about, especially with the team playing well without him. Let's go. The Raptors. For me, is this Raptors team legit? Is this for real with Brandon Ingram being the lead of that team? And for me, my answer to that is I think it's possible that they could definitely make a nice strong run. I don't think it's a contending team, though. I think that's where the buck stops for this Toronto team. They are a nice young team, talented team, especially when they're healthy. But I don't think they have all the pieces to be a contending team. Obviously, we saw what our Knicks did to them in the NBA Cup. But they definitely have some nice pieces. I would have to say I probably need to watch a few more games to really be convinced of this team fully on making a nice run this year. But so far, they look pretty good and young. But I don't know. I think I need to get to like the 40 game mark to be completely convinced. But I like what I see so far.
Yeah. My question for the Raptors is, can you bounce back? And I guess some fans will be like, The injuries is what it is. They're playing without IQ. RJ's been out for a while. They're currently on a 4-game losing streak. Remember, at one point they were the 2 seed.
Yeah.
Now they currently are at 6. But can you, through this adversity, can you bounce back and stay within that top 6, or will you crumble into the play-in, or even below the play-in, like we're used to seeing the last couple of years? But I do think this Raptors team is pretty good. I really think right now it just comes down to them missing some of their key guys, and I could see this team. I don't know about top 6, but I could definitely see them finishing in the play-in, because right now in the play-in, like right under the Raptors, you got the Cavs, the
Yep.
Heat, the Hawks. So all of those teams I could see them being in the top 6. So can they bounce back from this little speed bump of adversity right now? I think that'll be my biggest question for them.
Absolutely.
Next team, I'm gonna go with the Brooklyn Nets. My question for the Brooklyn Nets is, what's the plan if you don't get a top 3 pick in the draft? Because all I see on Twitter with Nets fans is, Knicks gave us their whole future, and we're about to build a super team with all these picks that we got.
Right.
And every single game that they lose, they're like, oh, one step closer to AJ, one step closer to Darren, one step closer to Cam Boozer. And when they win games, you would think somebody died. They're like, oh shit, why are we winning games? This front office is horrible. They had 5 first-round picks in this past draft, and this 2025 draft is arguably one of the better draft classes. And the 5 guys that the Nets got, we're not even really talking about them. And that was the whole big talking point last year. Like, yo, they got 5 first-round picks.
Yep.
So my thing is, if you don't get a top 3 pick, what exactly is your plan? Because you got 3 guys at the top that are franchise changing. I'm not gonna say generational. I'm gonna say franchise changing.
Right.
And a 4th guy in Caleb Wilson, who's really fucking good. So I'll even say, what would you do if you don't get a top 4 pick? Because if you get somebody that's just like, all right, he's good, but he's not franchise changing.
Right.
What is that gonna do for you? And you already have so many guards on the roster. You need somebody that's gonna like put a spark in that team.
Absolutely.
And that coach is so good that he's gonna refuse to lose. Like he's doing everything he can to win games, especially Michael Porter Jr. playing the way he is. So
yep.
So yeah, if you guys don't get a top 3 pick, what's the plan?
Yeah, I have to second that. That's my question too, because like you said, all off season, I mean, that's all they've been talking about. And if it doesn't work out, what are you guys going to say? Because you guys are super happy about this and you guys are banking on this. But if it doesn't work out, what is going to be plan B after that? Because no other plans have worked. You've been the little brother to us ever since you moved to Brooklyn. And it's going to stay that way, especially now. When are you guys going to decide, all right, we got to really make some moves to be competitive within our own city? Like, you guys are not even competitive within your own city. So,
and we've seen it before where, like, teams that got the worst record don't get the number 1 pick. So you could tank all you want. That doesn't guarantee you top 3 pick. I know if you get I think if you have the worst record, you're definitely guaranteed top 5.
Yeah, for sure.
But right now they don't even have the worst record. I think the Pelicans do. Pelicans are 4-22. Yeah, I remember seeing you guys. The Nets literally went through this before. Back in Jersey when they went 12-70, and they got Derek Favors at 3 instead of John Wall.
Idiots.
Yeah. I mean, they didn't pass on John Wall, but
Right.
They fell to the third pick, and I know they really want John Wall would have changed everything for them.
Oh, absolutely. I was just watching a highlight about him about an hour ago.
But yeah, I guess that Derek Favors trade turned into D Will, but
true.
Still, John Wall would have been crazy over here.
Way better. Absolutely. My next team would be the Cavs. If this doesn't work out again this year, are you going to make a move to one, try to bring back Bron for possibly his final year? Because that's been a question that everyone's been talking about. If Bron, it doesn't look like LeBron is going to stay in LA, not by his choice, just from what we've seen the Lakers do over these past few years. It just looks like they're not on the same page with him. So obviously everyone's been talking about LeBron returning back to Cleveland, especially with them being good. Is that something that they are considering, especially with LeBron playing? As of right now, he's not playing what we're used to, but he's showing moments of, okay, he's still got it. Like, he can still play this game. He still, can average anywhere from 20 or 18 to 22, 23 points or something like that. So I'm really curious to see if this doesn't work out, do they make moves to bring LeBron back and try to make another finals run?
I feel like the LeBron thing, if they do that, I feel like that's like almost panic mode. Because I feel like LeBron at this point, he's not going to carry you to the finals.
Oh, no. Absolutely not.
I mean, it'll be a go moment, but my question for the Cavs is, I actually have like a two-part question for them. One of them is, when can we stop using injuries as an excuse? Because I feel like that's been the excuse for the last 2 years.
Especially
because the first year that they lost to the Knicks, it was the lights were too bright. Then when they lost to the Celtics, I know Donovan Mitchell was hurt.
Yeah.
Darius Garland was hurt. Jared Allen refused to take shots, injections. And then last year, you had Garland miss games. Evan Mobley missed a game. I think DeAndre Hunter missed a game. Donovan Mitchell was banged up at the end of the series.
Yep.
And now you see it this year. Darius Garland's dealing with the toe. Max Strus is out. I don't think he's played a game this year.
No.
But like, when is that gonna stop being the excuse? Because it feels like that's the excuse every single year. And I feel like we can't just be like, all right, this is the reason why they lost. Because I can say that for every single one of these. And my second question is, can this team win games without Donovan Mitchell turning into Superman? I feel like this team, they're looking like, I don't want to say the Knicks of last year, but it's concerning. They're losing the teams that they should be beating. Like, they lost to the Warriors last week without Steph, without Dre, without Jimmy, and they got cooked by Pat Spencer. And the Cavs had their whole team playing. Last night, they was down 10 to the Wizards going into the fourth. Obviously, when I'm looking at the score, I'm like, all right, they down 10. They're gonna win this game.
Right.
And they did. It was a 4-point game, and Donovan Mitchell had to put up 48 points, but they won. And I'm like, all right, if Donovan Mitchell doesn't turn into Superman, can this team win games? Because I see that toe is really bothering Darius Garland. And I feel like when Darius Garland's not out there, I don't think we get the best version of Evan Mobley. I feel like we get the best version of Evan Mobley when Darius Garland is out there. So I'm not panicking on this team right now. I feel like I'd have to give it maybe another month before I start like, oh shit. But yeah, I have to see this team being able to win games without Donovan Mitchell going crazy. Even the opening night against the Knicks, we were beating them very convincingly until Donovan Mitchell decided to put his cape on in the third quarter and light us the fuck up. And I feel like if he's not having these heroic performances, this team doesn't really have a chance. And we've seen him do that in the playoffs time and time again. But you can't put that burden on him every single time because it's not gonna work. That's how it was in the beginning of the series. He was putting this, but it
Yep.
didn't it didn't amount to wins. So that'll be my question for them.
I agree. That it definitely catches up to you.
Yeah. Next team, I'm gonna go with the Chicago Bulls.
Okay.
When will you lean into the young Will entry tool? And what I mean by that is, I feel like this team they have something, and I don't think they should necessarily rebuild. I think they
Right.
should just retool and just go with the youth. That being said, like Kobe White isn't old. I
My
believe,
God.
but I think you would get a lot for Kobe White. I think teams would be calling that from real quick with Kobe to get a decent turn. Vucevic, I think that could really use his services, and you could get something pretty decent back. I think with Josh Giddey, Miles, Ayo, I think you have a good foundation right there with young guys, and I think you should just lean into the young talent with the play style you guys are playing. And
Mm-hmm.
I think they should just ride that young wave right now. Not saying that that's going to be their ticket to be a top team going
Right.
forward, but I think that's the direction they should go.
Yeah, that they kind of remind me a little bit of Atlanta without Trae Young. Like they have a bunch of nice star. Not I don't want to say superstar players because I wouldn't say any of them are superstars, but they have a nice young core, like you said, that they can actually build off of. And almost every year they're in the conversation to be in the play in and possibly make the playoff the top eight. So I don't know what it is that they're missing, but it's to me it seems like there's something missing that could get them over that top to at least be in the conversation every year to not make the play in, but to be in the top six. So I don't know what that is, but I feel like they need one more piece because they do have some nice pieces. For me, the next one I want to go to is the 76ers. When are you going to give the full keys to Tyrese Maxey and end the Joel Embiid guy being your top dog? Like, when are you guys going to understand that that's your guy? We understand what Joel Embiid is and how dominant he can be, but we just haven't seen it enough on a consistent basis. And yes, that's a nice young team, but I think he should be the lead of that team. And as of the last few years, because Embiid hasn't been playing, he has been the lead. And I think the 76ers should just completely hand the keys on over. I don't understand what they're waiting on. You know what you're going to get from Joel Embiid, unfortunately.
Mm, I feel like they low key know that it's his team.
Yeah, exactly. Like they need to just pull the plug.
Um, I think my question would be, um, all right. I think my question would be, when are you gonna? I guess it kind of goes with your question too. When are you gonna stick to one timeline? Because
Mm.
with this team, you kind of have like the young guys, VJ, Jared, Tyrese, and then you got Paul George, Embiid over there, Kelly Oubre. Um, and it's not always good to have like a mix of like both.
Right.
You see that with the Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't know if they're just gonna let Embiid go like that. They might just continue, which I feel like kind of hurts him because it's like you're always gonna be waiting on him.
Yep.
And I feel like the sooner you get Tyrese another like running mate that's like either closer in his age or a little bit younger, it'll
Mm-hmm.
benefit them more. Because right now he's playing. I think he's leading the league in minutes right now. I don't know if he
Yeah.
still is, but that's not going to be sustainable, especially in the playoffs. You're going to burn out. So
Yep.
I think that would be my biggest question for them. you gotta pick one side. You're either gonna lean all the way to the youth and ride with Maxi, or just keep going with Embiid and just building around him. But I feel like you can't really do that anymore.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work. They've already tried it and it hasn't worked. So when are they gonna wake up?
Yeah. My next team, I'm gonna go with the Heat. And my question for the Heat is: are you guys worse with Tyler Hero?
Mm.
Because last 10 games, they are 5-5. They are currently on a 4-game losing streak.
Oh,
And now I saw reports that they could potentially be the front runners in the Giannis trade. And I think Tyler Hill will probably be the headlining piece to that. He gets to go back home to Milwaukee.
yeah.
Um, but I feel like how this Heat team looked before Tyler Hill came back, it was just really different. A lot of ball movement,
Yes.
um, a lot of pace. Everybody's just reading and reacting.
Yep.
Um, and it just looked more free flowing and fun. And now it's just kind of cooled off. I don't know if it's just some of it with him coming back, some of it with other teams just like adjusting and like, all right, we know what this team's trying to do. But I don't know. It's something I'm kind of paying attention to because the Heat, the way this season started, I was like, oh shit, here we go. Um, maybe it's gonna take some time, like implementing him back, him and Powell playing together. I guess that might be an adjustment. Um, but that's definitely something I'm paying attention to.
Yeah, mine's kind of like yours. My question for the Heat is what do you got up your sleeve, Pat Riley? Because we know you are one of the most aggressive uh, GMs in the league, in the history of the league, of when it comes to trying to go get a big star an off season or during the trade deadline. If it's possible, then you'll make it happen. And as lately, you've made some questionable moves, I would say, a little bit, not too crazy, but like you said, what is this team going to look like soon? Like Tyler Hero clearly doesn't look like he's going to be the answer for you guys to make a deep playoff run or anything like that. They look better without him as far as the pace of the game, moving the ball, like you said. I think I'm not sure if they're still the number one pace team in the league, but I know at one point they definitely were. Um, and that's one thing you just definitely got to give credit to Eric Spoelstra. That's why he's one of the greats because no matter what talent he has around him, he can make it work somehow, some way. He just has to have the right pieces. And knowing him and Eric Spoelstra are locked, Eric Spoelstra and Pat Riley being lockstep with each other, I think they got something up their sleeve that they're going to roll out soon in the trade deadline. Like I have a feeling Pat Riley's very, very aggressive when it comes to being a GM, and I can see him if this doesn't look the way it needs to, especially if there's a guy like Giannis or somebody else that can make this team better, but fit. It has to fit because he don't give a damn if you're good. If it don't fit, he's not going to make that move. If he can find the right piece to make it fit in what they're doing right now, I see him doing it, and I'm just curious to what it is.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right. Who you said Miami? Well,
Yeah, I
we
said
talked
Miami.
about Giannis, so let's talk about the Bucks. When are y'all gonna pull that damn band-aid off? You guys know it's coming. It's coming. So, what is the package that you guys are going to put out there for one of these teams to go grab Giannis and at least, obviously, you never get back the same value when you trade a player like Giannis, but can you get something back to where your team is going to be competitive? And the irony of the whole thing is if you do get something back and you guys are competitive, well, that's what the hell Giannis was asking for this whole time. It's for you guys to make moves to be competitive. And now, if you guys trade them and then you guys become competitive with what the pieces that you got from them, it'll just be really funny because I always find that to be hilarious when teams trade their best player because the best player has been asking for you guys to help make them competitive. You guys don't do it, then you trade them, and then you guys become competitive. Like, what? Why not do that when you had that player? Like, it never makes sense to me. So, that's my question for the Bucks. What package are you guys willing to take to get Giannis? I mean, to move on Giannis.
Yeah, my question for them was, what will they do if they get a return and it's something they don't like? So, like,
Ooh.
imagine if Giannis demands to go somewhere or to a team where the return package for them isn't the greatest,
Oh.
and they kind of just say, "Fuck it, we're just gonna do what's best for you," and they were like, "Yo, we're gonna look out for you," and they get something like so whack in return. Like, what do you do
That's
after
tough.
that?
Yeah, that's a good
Maybe
question.
it's a 3-team trade that probably answers that question. Where they're like, all right, we'll just get this. But I feel like their front office and their fans are probably hoping for something big in return. And what if it's just something underwhelming? And
Mm.
you kind of have to just ride it out.
Oh, that's tough. That's tough. That would
Yeah.
be super tough for them.
Um, this is a quick one. The Clippers. What the fuck are you gonna do when OKC pulls up with your pick next year and they come into your building?
Oh man,
That's really it. Like,
I second that question because, and this goes back so many years. Them fucking this up, them messing this up with the Kawhi trade. Of course, at the time, Kawhi was the man. He's just coming off of the championship, but you guys didn't play this out correctly. You're clearly, obviously, hindsight is 2020, but like you just said, and then obviously coming off of a championship from OKC with the player you had in your building because you thought for sure that this guy was going to do it. And then ever since then, you guys have just been making questionable decisions. Yes, they've looked pretty decent at at moments in years, but we all knew, how this was going to play out because we've seen this before, and it just kept getting worse, worse, and worse. So, Chris Bonner, what the hell are you doing? What are you doing? And what are you going to do now? Because now it's, I forgot the saying, but the something on your face, like it's on your face now because you look real stupid now.
yeah,
Especially with the roster you put together this year. Oh my God.
yeah, I don't know what they do.
Oh my God. For me, oh, now this one I'm really interested in because I have a few Celtic fans. And I'll ask the question for them because they've been asking me, do you guys want to tank or do you guys want to compete? Because right now you guys are competing your asses off. You look good. You look all right. But a lot of Celtics fans are pulling their hair like, what the hell are we doing? We should have tanked this year so we can get a better player, get some more better picks, and then come back with JB next year. Like, Celtic Nation, this is really for you guys. What do you guys want? Like, you guys don't know what you want. When you win, we're look at what we're doing without JB, and then when you lose, yay, let's tank, let's tank, let's tank. Like, which one is it? Pick one, because you guys seem to be at odds with each other, and you guys need to figure that out. But regardless, this ain't y'all year. Quiet down. Y'all
Not,
look all right, but chill out.
not yet. Shout out to Jalen Brown. He's been playing his ass off this year. Um,
Yep.
he deserves a lot of flowers, a lot of respect for him. Him just battling. He's going against the top guys every single year, and he's performing. Um, that was something I kind of asked them early in the season. I'm like, are they going to tank? Are they going to be a competitive team?
Right.
But I think they're gonna stay competitive. Um, I think this team is too talented to just flat out tank,
Right.
and
Too deep. Too.
and this conference isn't good enough where they could just say, oh yeah, we're just gonna bottom out. Because bro, you're at 15 wins. You're not gonna catch the Pacers. You're not gonna catch the Nets. You're not gonna catch the Hornets. Um, the Bulls aren't even trying to tank, and they stuck at 10 wins.
Exactly.
So I think they probably better off just sticking to being competitive. And I think they could be they're the third seed right now. If they stay in that top six, I think they could really ruin somebody's season.
Absolutely.
Like
1,000.
one of these Toronto, Phillies, they could really just spoil their season. Like, oh, you guys thought it was sweet because you guys made the playoffs this year. Well, watch us beat you guys without Tatum.
Yeah. Oh, that would be. But.
Yeah, and shout out to Jordan Walsh. I was very, very early to the party. I wasn't wrong. I was just early because I remember when we did our mock draft episode that year. I was like, yo, this guy he could really help a winning team like off rip. But he wasn't getting any burn the first like couple years. So I'm like, damn, this dude might be out the league. But now he's really making a name for himself, and I'm happy because I'm like, damn, bro, I thought that take was gonna be bad, but I'm still trying to look for that clip because I was like, yo, I was really like, yo, this Jordan Walsh kid on a good team, he could really do something. And then Hugo Gonzalez, he's a pest defensively. So just having those two guys, I think they found something really good, and I think they're gonna stay competitive. I think it's just the Celtics way. I did think early in the year that they would eventually end up tanking, like Jaylen Brown. They're just gonna shut them down for any inconvenience.
Yep.
And I think the league would have gave them a top 5 pick because that's what the league does.
Exactly. It's Boston.
But I think they're gonna stay competitive though. Next team, I think I'm gonna throw a West team in there because I feel like we've been doing straight East.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with OKC. My question for OKC is, will they regret going for the win record? Yeah, right now they're currently 24-1, tied for the best start in NBA history, on pace for like 78 wins.
Yep.
And I think they're gonna beat the record. Me personally,
I think so.
I think they're gonna beat the Warriors record. I don't know if they'll beat the Lakers record of the 33 wins in a row. Because right now they're currently at 16 in a row. But is it worth it? Like, will they regret going for that record? Because we saw the Warriors in 2016. They went for that 73, and they talked about how, like, bro, it took everything. And then you got to go to the playoffs, and then the playoffs is just a war. And then it's different in the playoffs, bro. You're seeing a team 4 times, maybe more, depending on the series. And then they start to learn things. And we'll see if they can go for the record. Obviously, it's good for them. I'm not like saying that they shouldn't go for it because when you just won a championship and then you have this, it's like you're playing for something.
Absolutely.
So if they was to get the record and win the chip, this will probably go down as the best team ever. But yeah, my question would just be, will they regret it by going for that record?
And my question basically is like to go off of yours. What's more important, the record or winning another championship? And ultimately, I think if I'm the way the OKC has been playing this out over the past few years, I feel like they'll get close to the record. But I think especially if it gets closer to the end of the year, I think they'll be smart enough to be like, you know what, we're not here for records. We're here to win championships. We've been on a drought for years. We've been a laughing stock. I think let's go get this championship. Let's go bring 2 championships to OKC. So they really know that we're not here to just play. We're here to win chips and start a dynasty. So I think that's how they're going to play it to end of the year. But if they get close enough and there's still a good amount of season left to go, I can definitely see them going for it. But like you said, it's that can bite you in your ass because we've already seen it happen before. Granted, I will, and I normally don't do this because I'm a huge Bron fan, but I will give credit where credit is due for the Warriors, is that they did have to go against one of the greatest, if not in my book, the GOAT. They had to go against that. If they didn't have to go against him, then I think they take that. They win that record. So I'll give them a little bit of credit there. They had to go through get a little bit of luck, bad luck, I should say. Draymond going down, and then obviously going against Kyrie, a healthy Kyrie, and LeBron James, who at that point might have been, obviously was the greatest player in the world, but might have been the greatest LeBron we've ever seen. So that's why I'll give the Warriors a little credit. They could have definitely won that thing. So if it's there, and you think you have the opportunity to get it, go get it. But if it's gonna hurt your team, don't chance it. Go win a ring.
So LeBron's your GOAT?
LeBron's my GOAT. That's the greatest man to ever play basketball. This is just me. I personally don't understand how. I mean, I do get it, but I don't at the same time. I'm like, most people just throw in, the finals records and stuff, and I'm just like, there's more to basketball than just final records. We're talking about the whole thing, and his whole resume is just unbelievable. And for him to still be doing it, it's like, man, that's the greatest basketball player to ever play, in my opinion.
Yeah. MJ is my GOAT, but I'm not mad at P and Bron.
Yeah, and I'm not mad at him. I hate the MJ fans that don't show Bron any respect. They're so Bron. I mean, they're so MJ. What's the word? They just love MJ so much that they can't. They think it's disrespectful to MJ to give Bron any credit. It's like, what? What? How? No. MJ is MJ. You can't take anything away from MJ. But that doesn't mean LeBron's not great.
I'm the type of guy, like, MJ's my GOAT, but I will defend LeBron. Like,
respect.
Because there's mad LeBron haters that just talk, and they just, like, they're not even coming with facts. It's just coming from straight hate. And that's when I got to come with the facts and be like, nah. Like, so absolutely. I feel like I find myself defending LeBron a lot.
Yep.
But yeah, LeBron is definitely, if you say he's the GOAT, I don't care. He's my number 2.
Right. There you go. Respect.
My next team, I'm gonna go with the Orlando Magic. And my question
taking them down tonight. We taking them down today.
My question for them is will the fate of the season come down to Paolo versus Franz?
Ooh.
And what I mean by that is this season gonna come down to them having to decide between one or the other? Because I feel like that's been the big question surrounding this team and these two players. A lot of people lately, especially this season, are saying Franz is better than Paolo. I've always been Paolo's better than Franz guy.
Yep.
Paolo's been kind of off to a shaky start this year, but I still hold the playoffs to a high regard. I feel like he's been the guy that has shown up in the playoffs between the two of them. So that's why I kind of give him that edge. But Franz is a damn good player. I can't take that away from him. And something about the play style at times with Paolo can be kind of conflicting. In that cup game against the Heat, I feel like Desmond Bane was the one that was the driving force to send them home. Against the Knicks last Sunday, I feel like Paolo did not answer the call at all. When Franz went down, I kind of forgot Paolo was even in that game.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Anthony Black stepped up huge. Desmond Bane did his thing. Wendell Carter did his thing. I felt like I was just waiting for Paolo to step up, and it just never happened. So
Yep.
for them, is this season going to come down to, are we going to have to choose between one or the other?
That's a great question. For me, my question would be: is this the year that the Orlando take that leap and stay there? Because I believe it was 2 years ago, might have been even three, where the Orlando Magic made a leap that nobody expected. I guess they were ahead of the schedule at that point.
It was two
Um,
years ago.
2 years ago, right? And since then they haven't looked the same. But as of now, they're starting to look like they're resembling that same team, which is a very young team. And it just goes on to some of your questions that you asked about who's going to be their guy. Is it going to be Franz or is it going to be Pablo? So, I like you said, I'm more Pablo. I think he represents the team better as the leader and the go-to guy. I think Franz is no doubt one of the dope guys on the team. He's a good player. He pisses me off when he plays our Knicks because he be busting our ass. It be but no, I just God, it frustrates the hell out of me. But and then Bane, he does a lot for that team, especially now coming from Memphis. We know what he brings to that team. But yeah, is this the year that you guys make the leap, especially with a weaker Eastern Conference? Because it's been inconsistent.
Yeah.
Shit, what were they like? The 2 years ago, they were second or third in the East, and then
2 years ago, 2024, they were the fifth seed.
fifth seed.
Yeah, because I remember they played the Cavs in the first round. I remember because
Yes,
the
in
Cavs
seven.
lost on purpose just so they could play the Magic in the first round, thinking shit was sweet.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
Magic took them to 7 games.
Yep, I remember that. I remember watching Game 7 at a bar with some of my friends. Yep, I remember that shit.
And
Then
then
last year,
I feel like last year was mostly due to injuries because you had Paolo tore his oblique, Franz tore his oblique, Jalen Suggs missed a lot of the year last year.
oh yeah, what's going on? I feel like I haven't heard that name enough.
Yeah.
He's been pretty quiet.
So yeah, I felt like last year it was mostly because of injuries, and even when they were all getting back healthy at the end, I think they got to the 7th seed.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
so I think last year was mainly because of injuries, and then this year it sucks because Paulo was out. Then Paulo finally comes back. Now Franz is hurt.
Yep. You
So
just can't stay healthy at the same time.
yeah, it's tough.
For
I
sure.
think you're picking the next team now.
And me? Okay. Let's finish the East. Hornets. My question for the Hornets is now with these new owners that they have since Jordan's been gone, what what is your serious plan for the Hornets? Because obviously you got a superstar in what's his name? Uh I'm drawing a blank on his name right now. One of the brothers, Paul brothers,
LaMelo.
LaMelo. You have a superstar in that guy, but you're not doing anything with him. You're not building around him. It almost looks like you just got him for the entertainment. And for me, being a fan of the sport, I hate watching that. I hate seeing guys with super duper dope talented skills out there just kind of just entertainment. Like that's kind of how I felt with Trae Young his first few years in Atlanta. He was out there just putting up buckets, but they weren't really a team that you were like, oh, this is going to be a great team in a few years. It was just like, oh, no, he's out there. He's the next Steph Curry, and that's what we're coming to watch right now. Anybody that's going to watch a Hornets game, it's only to go watch LaMelo ball. It's not because you're expected to watch your team go win. I don't see it like that. So I think they're just a team that is literally out there for entertainment. And I hate that because when you have a young superstar like that, I would love to see him actually using that talent to really compete. They don't look like a team that's competing for me. And that's been, how long has he been in the league? 3-4 years now?
Nah, this is year 6.
God damn. And see, that's my point. It's like the years are being wasted there because literally only time I watch the Hornets is just to see what he's doing on the court. Other than that, it's not for anything competitive.
Yeah, for me, my question for the Hornets would be, when are you gonna get serious? And I feel like this past draft they did really well, getting Continental, Liam McNeely, Sion James, um, Ryan Kalkbrenner, and I think they have pieces for this team to at least be a playing team. Because we saw in the LaMelo era, they made 2 playing games. They won like 40 games, but they got bounced in that first game. I feel like this team has the talent, and I don't know if it's coaching. I know some Hornets fans don't like the way Charles Lee does his rotations, but I don't think I look at this team and I'm like, I don't think they're complete dog shit. Like they got some guys, and I like LaMelo Ball. I feel like he maybe, I think he just, I like what Charles Lee is doing, like holding him accountable. Like you see him some games when he fucks up, he's getting benched, and
which
sometimes
he hasn't gotten before,
which he hasn't gotten before, and I just want to know when this team is going to get serious because I think they have talent on this team. I really, 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 really love Continental. He was my favorite player in this draft class. I was raving about him, saying that this guy he's not going to fail in the NBA, and he's exceeded my expectations out the gate. Miles Bridges is a talented dude. I think I don't want to say he's an underrated player, but like you could really check him off for like 21 a game and consistently every single season, 21 points per game, and nobody really talks about it. But LaMelo's always banged up. Brandon Miller's always banged up, and I just really want to know, like, because you have more talent, in my opinion, than the Hornets, than the Nets.
Yep.
But you're still in that group with them, and I think you should. I think they should be in the group with like the Bulls, the Hogs, the Heat. I think they should be in that conversation. So when are they gonna get serious? And I don't know what the solution for that is. Is it trading LaMelo and getting a guy that's more available? I don't know what it is. So.
Yep. Absolutely.
I think we still got 2 East teams left, so we could just knock that out. 2 teams we got left is the Knicks and the Pacers. I guess fuck it, we could do the Knicks. The Knicks, my question for the Knicks is this the group that can win it all? I think that is the biggest question.
For sure.
Since this Leon Rose era has started, they've been aggressive in terms of building a championship team. And I feel like we've gotten closer every year. I think we've gotten better towards the goal every year. And this is probably like the biggest year. But it's kind of overwhelming when you see what OKC is doing. And it's always it always feels like, damn, like we're not in the party with these top teams. Because last year I felt that type of way when you had Cleveland on this hot start, Boston was hot, OKC was doing their thing, and the Knicks were just in the background like, damn, like we can't fuck with these guys. And now this year it's like we're witnessing an all-time OKC team, and everybody's like, yeah, nobody from the East is beating that team. And then people still write us off against some of these teams in the East, but is this the group that can win it all? I think it's going to be a challenge just because with the Knicks, it's always a challenge. They never make anything easy. I don't think I'll ever see a Knicks like cakewalk season ever. Like never. They always like to make shit difficult. But But I got a question: when you got Brunson and Cat out there on the floor, and they're both the biggest defensive liabilities together, that's a valid question because you don't know. A lot of teams are gonna pick on them and try to get one of them off the floor, and that's really the main thing. One of the biggest things is like, can Jalen Brunson be the player on a championship team? Can you win a chip with a small guard? And we've only seen it twice, Steph and Isaiah Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
That's really the thing. And a lot of people use that as an excuse that we can't win because he's our best player. I don't think that's the excuse.
Oh yeah.
I feel like the two defensive liabilities as your best players is probably the biggest issue.
Yep.
Because I think Jalen Brunson can be the best player on a finals
Absolutely.
team. Just because I feel like people still don't understand the shit that he does in the playoffs.
Yep.
It's mind to me how they just ignore it. If any other player was doing, I don't even want to read the stats, but like if any other player was doing what he was doing, we would not hear the end of it. But for it just gets glossed over.
Mm-hmm.
So I really think he's one of them guys in the playoffs. But yeah, it's this group, the group that can win it all. I feel like they're damn close.
Yeah.
I can't confidently say yes, but I think they're damn close.
Yes.
Maybe some tweaks here and there.
Yep. I'm with you on that. I'm not at a complete yes yet because, like you said, that West, especially OKC, the Thunder. I mean, the Nuggets looking strong again. Like, I think we'll be able to compete and it'll be a good series, but I don't ultimately think we would be able to beat them right now. So my question to that is there more moves we can make before the deadline that can improve this team to beat one of those Western Conference teams? Because it's the East, even though the East is somewhat competitive, like it's not going to be a cakewalk, like you said, to get through the East. I'm very confident that we can get out of the East and that we will get out of the East. It's all about the West. That's my mindset. Yeah. Can we compete with the West? That's going to be the biggest question. The Spurs, the Lakers, the OKCs, the Thunders. Like, if we can compete with them and actually show that in a 7-game series, yes, we're bringing the heat, and JB can win us a championship. That's what I want to see with this roster. If we can't show that, then hey, I'm okay with making some moves, especially if it's for one guy up there in Milwaukee.
I mean, I feel like people completely write us off against the Nuggets and the Rockets. I feel like we could mess with those teams. Like people see the Rockets and Nuggets and be like, "Oh, the Knicks have no chance." But I think we have a chance against those teams.
Yeah.
OKC, I feel like OKC, you could say, "Oh, they don't have a chance." That's fair. But the Nuggets and the Rockets, I think we have a chance against them. And the one thing about, like, as much as I would love Giannis, I feel like that trade is just so complicated because it's like, I love how this team is playing right now.
Yeah.
I just like having all these guys in the rotation.
Mm-hmm.
And if you got to give up Cat and OG,
no,
I don't know.
Draw the line right there.
Yeah, I'm like, the way OG and Mikel's been playing this year defensively,
yeah,
I feel like they're gonna cause a lot of problems for other teams, and I don't want to break that up. And then I was saying throughout the week, I'm like, maybe I would consider it if it was a Cat and Giannis just 1-for-1. But then it was like, why would the Bucks do that for one?
Yeah.
And two, ever since Giannis has become like an MVP player, he's always played with a stretch five. Whether it was Brook Lopez, Bobby Portis, now Miles Turner. If you do that 1-for-1, he not only is he going to be playing the 5, he might have to play with Mitchell Robinson at time, and that's going to be a disgusting fit.
Very.
So that's another thing. It's like, if you trade Cat, you got to play like an ugly lineup with either. I mean, Giannis at the 5, I feel like could work against certain teams and in spurts,
for sure.
But I don't think you could do that for a full 82-game season. and
Absolutely.
you're gonna have to look for a floor space in 5. And
Yeah, they're gonna have to add another team. It's gonna have to be a three
yeah,
team trade in order for it to make sense for the Knicks and what they get back. Like you said, for Giannis, for it to be a good fit for him.
yeah. I mean, am I bugging for like wanting to just do the
Keep it
I'll
straight up. No,
keep it
I'm
like I kind of want to see how this team goes, the current team
with
we
you.
have, and maybe
I'm with you
if they do the Alvarado and Dante trade and get both of them, I might be cool with that.
for sure.
Um,
I'm definitely cool with that trade for sure.
cool with
Absolutely.
I feel like the more depth I have, the better.
1000%. And like you said, like because of the depth, especially when if you have to deal with a OKC in the finals, they have the most depth in the NBA probably. So
Mm-hmm.
you're gonna need that. You're gonna need to be able to go a few guys down in the bench in order
Yeah,
to compete with that team.
the 2 teams in the finals last year were 2 D teams.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I don't really, as much as I would like to have Giannis, I don't really want to fuck up our depth.
Yeah.
Even though Giannis is like a for sure, he like you don't gotta question him not showing up in the playoff game, and you also have
Right.
to consider he's been hurt in the playoffs in the last like 3 years.
Yeah.
Outside of this past year, he wasn't hurt, but 2024 he was hurt. He missed the entire postseason. 2023 he got hurt. I think he missed like the first 2
Yeah.
games.
Yeah.
Um, so he's been dealing with injuries in the playoffs the last couple of years.
Definitely.
Uh,
Oh,
oh yeah, last team we got is the Pacers
the Pacers.
in the East.
My question for them would be, what are you going? What is your plan for next year when Tyrese comes back and to be back in contention for where you left off? Obviously, you um, moved on from what's his
Miles
name,
Turner.
Miles Turner, and Siakam right now is holding it down for you guys. But well, not holding it. You guys aren't doing well, but he's the lead guy for you guys. He's your top guy. Uh, are you gonna stay pat with just Tyrese and Siakam? You think that's enough, or you guys gonna make a move and get you guys another three-headed monster along with those other pieces that they have? Because, like you said, they had a very deep bench last year, and that was part of the reason why they went on that final run. So, what moves? I'm really interested in what the moves they're gonna make this offseason, because it's not like they need to go on a rebuild. No, you were in the conference finals the last 2 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, the last 2 years, maybe even three. I know it was the last 2 years, and then last year you made the final. So hopefully, well, I don't want to say hopefully, but and for their sake, that they're not in a sense of all right, let's take a few steps back before we start going back to the trying to make a deep run. No, you guys still have a pretty decent team. You just don't have all your pieces, and you need maybe another piece as well. Obviously,
Yeah.
your general is out for the year, so if I'm them, I'm thinking about that.
Yeah, my question for the Pacers would be can you guys be patient next
Mhm.
year? Because Tyrese is gonna come back, and Miles Turner is gone, so that does change uh, this team a little bit, and they are on the shop for a center, so they are looking for centers. And can you just be patient when he comes back? Because when he comes back, um, I don't, I'm not expecting to see superstar Tyrese out the
Right.
gate. Like it's gonna take some time. Maybe they start off slow, and fan base might panic off rip. Maybe Benedict Mathurin isn't on this team next year because I think he's due for a
Yep.
rookie extension. So you might be without him. And they TJ McConnell's barely played this year, so yeah, they are missing a lot of guys. Can they just be patient? You gotta just wait and see how Tyrese is just
Yep.
in how he handles that Achilles injury going into next year, and you can't be thinking that now that he's back, oh yeah, we're gonna run through the East. Like I don't think he's gonna be like that.
Absolutely.
Teams got better, and you're just gonna have to adjust to playing together again, and him getting his feet under him.
Yep.
The East portion is done. I think we've done 2 West teams. We've done OKC. Oh no, we've done 3. We've done OKC, the Pelicans, and the Clippers.
Yep.
Next team, I'm gonna do the Warriors. My question for the Warriors is, can you guys take a look in the mirror? Because you guys are not contenders. They're 13-13. Steph Curry just came back. He put up, I think, like a 40 ball, and they lost.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think this team is not a contender, even though they might pretend to be, or they think they are. And Steph Curry, he's doing everything he can. Jimmy Butler is out. Draymond. The Kuminga thing is really, I feel like, is a big glaring hole for them. Like, it's been a distraction. And I remember Steve Kerr calling out Adam Silver about the schedule that they had, because they had a lot of road games. But I don't view this team in the upper echelon of the West teams. Like,
No.
I feel like the group that they're in right now in that playing tier is where they belong. Because obviously they're not fucking with OKC. They're not fucking with Denver. If they ran it back with Houston this year, I think Houston beats them this time around.
For sure.
I think the Lakers beat them in the series. The Spurs, if Wemby's playing, I think because that NBA Cup game was fire. That when they played the Spurs, but I think that's a series that'll go 7 games. I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I think they're right around in the group that they should be in with the Suns, the Mavericks, the Grizzlies. I don't view this team as a contender though. They're old as fuck.
Yeah.
They're doing the 2 timelines things. Like you still got the old dogs, but then you still got AirPods. You got Pat Spencer. You got Trace Jackson Davis. You still got all of them. Got Will Richard. So and Kuminga's still there, unhappy. You don't want to be there. He's getting benched some games. So I think it's just a big distraction for them. And my thing is, can you look in the mirror and see that you're not a contender? Because you guys are not beating the top dogs in the West.
Yep. My question for the Warriors is, and I get it, but when are they going to move on from Draymond Green? Like, I get what he means to the team, the history, the franchise. I get it all. But it makes no sense to me when I see trade conversations are brought to the Warriors and Draymond is included in those trades for a very, very good to very good player, and they come back with no, Draymond is we're not getting rid of Draymond. And I'm just like, wait, what? Who? You guys are not trying to get rid of Draymond? I get it. Again, I get what he does for the team. I get the history of what he did for the team, but he's not that guy and that's not that team anymore. Like you just said, they're not a contender team. So I've been seeing over the past few years some pretty good, decent packages to get Draymond for some good players. And they're obviously every time they've said, no, we're not getting Draymond is an untouchable. But you can get rid of Clay. Obviously, Clay deserved it because Clay hasn't been looking the same. Same things with. I feel the same way about Draymond Green. He's not that same guy. Yes, we know what his history, what his role is for that team, but you need to find somebody else for that role. Somebody better, younger, and that can do that. Because I don't understand why they're still on this Draymond Green. Steph Curry, yes, he can. He's the guy that deserves to 1,000% retire there, and I get it. Draymond does too, but if you're gonna sacrifice Draymond staying because of the history over making your team be competitive now, which it seems like you guys have been trying to do with these moves that you've made over the past few years, just rip the Band-Aid off. Draymond Green, you will always be remembered as a warrior, but he doesn't have to stay on the team forever. Same with Clay. Clay obviously will always be remembered as a warrior, but he's not on the team no more because it made sense to get rid of him. I think it's time. When are you guys going to make the decision, Warriors?
Yeah, it's time. I saw that they could potentially, like, they was in the mix for a Giannis trade, but Draymond has to be in the trade.
Yep.
And some fans like, nah. I'm like, yeah, bro, you got it.
Like, come on. I love Draymond, but come on. Come on.
Oh man.
For me, the next one, the Mavericks. The Mavericks. Now, obviously, we all know that the Lakers clearly won that trade by a mile on what they look like now and what you guys look like now. My question for them is, who is the GM they're going to bring in next to try to rebuild this and make this work? Because Nico left you guys a fucking mess. He left you guys a mess, and whoever has to come in to clean that all up, I feel bad for you. But at the same time, there's some obvious moves that you can make to start the rebuilding process over there. And we know who those players are. We know, AD, we know some of those guys that you need to get rid of and start over. So my question is, GM, then who's going to be the new guy that comes in, and what is his process going to be to restart this whole process? Because it's really sad. I feel bad for them because they were a year removed from the finals, and then everything just went downhill.
Yeah. My question for the Mavs would be, I guess this would be for the new GM. Can you calm down and look at everything around you? Because I feel like they don't really have to be in the rush to rebuild, in my opinion.
Right.
Because
Absolutely.
I know the easy answer would be to trade AD, but I feel like AD's value isn't the highest right now. So I'm like, if I'm not getting the best return, I might as well keep him, because when he's healthy, this dude is top 15 player. So
when he's healthy, very few times.
Yeah, but I would I guess I would hold on to him for now, because you probably not getting like something great in return.
Yeah,
and I think shifting Cooper Flag back to his regular position and starting Ryan Himard, this makes the team look a lot better. Mm-hmm. And shout out to Jason Kidd, because I literally said it after the first game of the season. I said, yo, Ryan Nembhard needs to start on this team. And I thought it was crazy for me to even say out loud, but I'm like, yo, that's your only option right now. You're gonna have to do it. And he's finally doing it, and they look better. I think this team, I mean, the way it's looking, the teams under them, I was gonna say maybe they're bad again and they get a decent draft pick. I mean, it's very much well possible that they could maybe fall down a little bit and they could get a decent draft pick to pair with Cooper Flag. But
I think so.
Another year with Cooper Flag going into year 2, Kyrie getting healthy, AD on the team. This team is pretty deep. This team could be a competitive team next year. I'm not saying that they'll be like a top 6 playoff team, but I think this team could be pretty good next year, and you don't necessarily have to tear it all down right away. I think they have some good pieces. So I would just my question for them would just be, can you calm down? I think everything's gonna be fine. I don't think the next GM is gonna be Nico Harrison, and I don't think this is a difficult. I'm not gonna say it's not a difficult job, because I don't know, like, I'm not a fucking GM, but
right.
I don't think this is like the worst like GM situation to be in. Like, if you're taking on this job, I don't think you're like, shit, like I don't know what the fuck to do. I feel like this isn't the worst like job to be in. Like, it could be way worse.
Definitely.
The next team, I'm gonna go with the Houston Rockets. Um, Houston Rockets currently are the third best offense and the third best defense. My question for them is, can we make a deep run without a point guard? And the top three offense for me is very surprising, especially
Yes.
like them not having a point guard. I know Reed Shepard has been looking better, but that's my biggest concern with the Rockets going into the playoffs. Just having that point guard play. Um, I think that's going to be tough
Yeah.
going into the playoffs. The game slows down. I feel like the way Houston likes to play, they like to beat you up and they like to go out and run. And I know they brought in Kevin Durant to get you those buckets in the clutch time, but sometimes you need a guard to set them up or a guard to just put pressure on the
Exactly.
defense, put pressure on the rim, and make it easier for other guys. Sometimes you see Şengün bring the ball up, KD
Yeah.
posting up, and you see Şengün trying to get him the rock. Um, as better as Reed Shepard has looked, he's still going to get picked on by the
For
better teams because his stature is small. Um,
sure.
so that's my thing. They don't really have like a point guard, and a lot of people like to say point guard of men, point guard of men. I'm like, he's not a point guard to me as of right now, and he's not going to punish you when teams go under on screens. He's trying to get downhill, and when some lineups when you're playing Steer and Adams, like how effective is that going to be? Um,
Absolutely.
so that's like the biggest area of concern for me because out of the top three West teams, I look at them and I'm like, I don't think you guys are fucking with Denver and OKC.
No.
I'm sorry. And currently, they're the 3 seed. So
Yeah.
if they get out the first round, they got a date with Denver in round two.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Good luck. And the Lakers are right behind them, so you better not fall to four because you potentially have to play OKC in round two.
Yeah.
So that'll be my biggest question for them.
That mine is the same. Like pretty much, will they make a trade at the trade deadline to go get them a point guard to finish the season? Because I think uh, come playoff time, that could be trouble for them. Because like what you said earlier, Shepard, they're gonna pick on him, and then they'll definitely pick on Sengun if he's gonna be. Obviously, Katie will bring up the ball, but like you said, they've had Sengun bringing up the ball as well, and I think that he's done okay at it, but I think there's definitely weaknesses in him bringing up the ball, and some teams have exposed it a few times. So if they continue to go down that path, that could be trouble for them because I forgot who they were playing. I think it was a bad team too, and it might have been the Hornets. I forgot who they were playing, but they were playing a bad team, and Sengun brought up the ball a few times and got stripped, got double teamed, and he had a few turnovers on a couple consecutive possessions, and that was something that was like, okay, I don't know if they want to do that a lot, like especially against better teams where in the playoffs they're really gonna attack your weaknesses at the most. I'm not the biggest fan of bigs bringing up the ball. Yeah, we want to be. We get it. It's a a stretch world now where every big is a stretch, but that doesn't mean you have to do it. Let them play their natural position and put them in the best position to be good for themselves, but also their teammates. I don't think trying to put them in not their natural position works for them or the team. So I think they really need to figure out that position, like you said.
Yeah.
Is it me? Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's your turn.
Let's go with the Nuggets. The Nuggets. Is this the roster that they've been looking for over the past few years? Ever since they moved on from Bruce Brown, who's now back. They moved on from a few guys, and it seemed like they regretted that almost immediately. Like obviously the team was still good, but you could see that there were some holes that that team needed and needed to make some moves. And it seems like this year it's paying off for them. They got their guy back and they got rid of the guy that a lot of people who not that aren't even Nugget fans knew you had to make a move on Porter eventually, even though he's a good player and all that. But we knew as fans, just watching that team and seeing how that offense and defense was flowing, that he was the piece that if you were going to make a move, he would be the guy that had to go. So I like what they look like now. They're a team that like they're just a team every year, especially because of obviously the Joker, but it's the surrounding pieces that they get around them. Jamal, he's up and down, especially this year. I got
He's
to
been
see a
good
little
this
bit
year.
more of him. Yeah, like this year he's been a little bit more consistent, but of the last few years, especially since them winning the championship, he's been having like those roller coaster seasons. But this year he's been looking. But that again, it just is this one of the roller coasters where he starts up and then goes down. Because last year it seemed like he was down and then went up towards the end of the season. So is he going to stay on that trajectory? That's my biggest question for the Nuggets. We know what we're going to get from Joker. Is everyone else going to step up and stay consistent? Because the Nuggets that I've seen over the past 2 years, they've been good. They're always in the conversation to be a contender, but it's not the contender where I'm like, oh no, they're definitely one of the best teams, and they're going to be in the conversation. This year they look more like that, so I'm not fully sold on it yet. I get more sold around the 40 game mark, so I'm not there yet.
My question for the Nuggets, and this is kind of unfair to them, but if you guys don't win the championship, what do you do? Because I think we could all agree that this is the best Nuggets team that they put around Jokic.
Mm-hmm.
Probably since the championship team. Some people would say this roster is better.
Yeah, you can make an argument.
Like if you don't win this year, like what do you do? Like what moves do you make? And it sucks that that's the question for them. But like if you lose to OKC, or if you just lose in the finals, like I don't even know what's next. It's an unfair question, but it's a valid question because
Absolutely.
I don't know what other moves you could really make. But this is the team, I guess you could say. Well, them and the Pacers are the two teams that really push OKC most.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Jokic is good enough. Like he could damn near. Well, he could win you a series, but a series against OKC, he could do his hardest, but he's gonna need everybody to step up.
Absolutely.
That'll be the biggest question. Like, what do you do if you don't win the championship? Yeah.
Yep. That's a good question because they've been at it for the past 2 years trying to get back, and they just fell short the last 2 years. So, yeah, that's a big question for them.
Yeah. That was the Nuggets. Next team, I'm gonna go with. I'm gonna do a quick one. The Kings. What the fuck are we doing? That's the question. That's just Bulls West right now.
That's a good one.
Yeah. What the fuck are we doing? That's the question. I'm not even gonna go in depth with them.
Yes, me neither. What are they doing? It doesn't look like they've had a successful plan ever since moving on from Mike Brown and Darren Fox. Like they had some good years too. So I don't know how it just went from them being, I don't want to say a contender in the West, but weren't they number one at one point?
They were the 3 seed. 2023.
They were killing that year, and then it just fell off a cliff. So, yeah, that's a good question. I second it.
It's crazy how the tides turn in the NBA. Like I remember that year, and we played the Kings in Sacramento back in March of that year. and we lost to them. And I was like, wow, the Kings are beating us. Like how the tables have turned, yo.
Yep.
And now, yeah, they back to their normal self.
Yep.
I was worried when we lost to them over there. I'm like, damn, we gotta worry about this team now. Are we
Shit.
serious? You can't even beat the King. But yeah, now they back to their normal selves, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this team doing? Like, you look at that roster. This is like some mid 2010s type of roster. Like, if this team was around in like 2010, I can't even say that they'd be good, but maybe. But this is like some 2010 thing, like 3 stars, one team. Yeah, that 3-star shit don't work.
It don't work. Absolutely not. Let's go to the Suns. Suns, when are we going to do right by Devin Booker? Outside of paying him a bunch of money, let's do the fans a good one. Let's do this one for Devin Booker. Let's trade him to a contender for real. Let's just trade him. Why are we holding on? Let's rebuild from the start. You guys major run at a finals a couple years ago. It's over. You tried to get back there, and you didn't come even close. And ever since then, it's just been going downhill from there. So, and you just lost. You went and got KD. You thought that was going to be it. It wasn't. Now we're moving on. KD is no longer there, and now you just got Booker. I don't know what the team looks like fully. I haven't watched a lot of Suns games this year, but when the Suns come to my mind, the only thing I think of is when are we going to get Booker out of there and put him on a contender, because he's too damn good to be on that team. He's just too damn good. I don't want to see. We've seen too many superstars that stayed on a team too long. Too long. He deserves to be on a contending team. I want to see it.
I don't have like a critical question for the Suns, but my question is just like, can we give a shout out to Jordan Ott? Ever since they hired him, they looked a lot better. His first year as a coach came from Cleveland, and he's done a real good job. They're currently 13th in offense, 14th in defense, and this is a team last year. They started off, I think, 10-2, and they were one of the worst teams in the league. But now they're kind of like they're a respectable team. Like when you see the Suns on the schedule, they're not just like some pushover team. A lot of that has to do with Jordan Knott, with his style of coaching. Part of that you can give credit to Dylan Brooks. Everywhere Dylan Brooks goes, the toughness is there, and I guess it has a trickle down effect on his team and his teammates. He's having a real good year too. So I got to give a shout out to Dylan Brooks and shout out to Colin Gillespie because he's been playing real good basketball. And I remember going into the season, it was Devin Booker got to play point guard. I'm like, Devin Booker could play point guard, but I'm just not the biggest fan of it. I'd rather him play his natural position at the 2 guard. And now they've put Colin Gillespie at the point, and I think it looks way better with him running the point. He's pesky. He has a lot of moments in the fourth quarter where he's hitting big shots. So I think this team, they're building something. It's unfortunate that this team is in the West because it might take a little bit longer to see like results right away. But I think this team is like slowly building, and maybe they might have to make some moves in between. I don't think they necessarily have to trade Devin Booker, but I think they're gonna have to be smart in how they move because recently this franchise has been making some head scratching decisions. So
yes.
So that's what it would be. I think it's my turn now. I gotta look at what teams we got in the West. Next team, I'm gonna go with the Jazz.
Jazz, okay.
My question is, who I'm trying to think because I didn't really have a question prepared, so I'm just trying to think on the fly. Um, all right, I have kind of a two-part question for them. The first one is, will the lottery gods be on our side after everything we've done for AJ? And I've been saying that the Jazz. I've been saying AJ the Bands is going to end up a Utah Jazz because went to prep school in Utah, went to BYU.
Destiny.
What's his name? The Jazz GM, Danny Ainge, BYU alumni. The Jazz owner, BYU alumni.
Wow.
I feel like it's written in the stars for the Jazz to end up with a top 3 pick. Maybe it's too obvious if they do it, because people they don't want to see the NBA doesn't want to make it seem like they're rigged.
Right.
But we all know what it is.
But we all know they
Cooper Flag just don't end up in Dallas after Luka gets traded. So will the lottery gods work out for you? And then the second question is, who are our guys? Because when you guys do, if you guys do get one of those top picks, who is your core? Like, who are the guys that you're comfortable keeping, and who are the guys you guys are like, all right, peace out. I kind of have an idea. I really love Keontae George. He was my favorite player coming out of that draft in 2023, and showed some flashes his rookie year. Last year, he kind of hit. He kind of like stagnated, and this year he's been flourishing, and he looks really good. I like Bryce Sensabaugh. Isaiah Collier, I like him, but I feel like there's still more you have to see. Kyle Filipowski is really good, but it's tough when he got Laurie Markkinen playing in front of him. So they're gonna have to decide what they're gonna do with Laurie Markkinen. I know he's like the headline of trade talks, but who are your guys? Because they have a collection of young talent. You have Ace Bailey that they just drafted, Walter Clayton Jr. You got Cody Williams, who might be one of the worst top 10 picks that we've seen in the last decade. So I mean, I'm pretty much answering your question, like answering my own question with like who's the guys like Keontae George, Bryce Sensabaugh, Filipowski, Ace, Walter Clayton, and I guess whoever you bring in this. I basically answered my own question, but maybe the front office don't know who their guy is either, but they do have a lot of young on that team, and I think they have to start realizing like, all right, these are the guys we want to keep as our core, and we want to move on from these guys. So,
yeah, my question for the Jazz is simply for my guy Dwayne Wade, because Dwayne Wade is one of my favorite players of all time. He came in that draft and was underrated, so he became one of my favorite players of that draft. And now he's part owner of that team. So my question to him is, what is the plan, brother? I hate seeing you look this bad as an owner. You are an amazing player, and it pains me to see you be a bad owner. I'm not obviously putting it all on you, but you take you take ownership in that. So my thing is, what's up with these past players who are now owners who always end up on one? Why are you guys always buying these? Buying ownership in these bad goddamn organizations. One, that's my first question for you guys. And then two, when are you guys going to be successful at it? Because I haven't seen too many outside of Magic Johnson be a successful former player or former athlete. Like, I just haven't seen it happen too often. And as you being one of my favorite athletes of all time, I need to see some success, even if it is the Utah Jazz.
He gotta be like a super minority owner.
Yeah, like it's gotta.
I forgot he was like a part owner of that team.
Yeah,
you remember fucking I don't know if he still is, but fucking Usher is like a part owner of the Cavs.
Yeah, Absolutely. Yep.
I remember when he was in the locker room when they won. I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
I said the same thing. I'm like, is he from fucking? And then I was like, oh shit, he is come from Cleveland, and so it made sense. But I didn't forget about it.
All right, man.
Oh, it's my turn. Okay.
Yeah. I
I
think we only got like 5 teams left.
Yeah, we're not too far away.
Then we got Lakers, Spurs, Timberwolves, Grizzlies, and Blazers. I think that's the only teams we got left.
And for me, I'm gonna go with the Lakers. Going past this year, my question for you guys is, what is the future gonna look like for this team after LeBron is gone? Obviously, they're in contention this year, but me personally, it's still early. My thoughts on it might change later, but right now they don't look like they will win the West. I really think it's OKC, the Thunder, and potentially if this team can grow off of what they're doing now. Obviously the Rockets, I forgot about them, but the Spurs. I'm really, the Spurs is one of the teams that I'm low key like, yo.
Not the Nuggets.
No, I mentioned the Nuggets. That might have been the second team I mentioned. The Nuggets as well, for sure. It's OKC, the Nuggets, Rockets, and then I'm putting the Spurs fourth on that list. Not even, especially after what they did to the Lakers without Wemby.
Oh,
you know, that's a young team that is gelling well at this moment. So for me, the Lakers, my question is for you guys. You guys got Luka. You got an early Christmas gift last year. Now you got your number 2, AR, really taking that next step. You got your big man in Ayton, which we've been waiting for you guys to do for the past few years, which AD's been asking for, and you guys didn't want to do it for him. But whatever, that's besides the point. What is this Laker team going to look like in the next few years after LeBron's gone? He might be gone after this year. He might be in another uniform after this year. So I'm really curious to see what this team is going to look like next year.
Yeah, I gotta. It might sound fucked up, but I think I gotta see Wemby play 20 straight games before I put them.
That's a good point
in that conversation. My question for the Lakers would be, what can we do to sit at the cool table with OKC and Denver? I think they could compete with Houston in the series. I think it'll go 7 games.
Yeah.
But I don't think Houston will just wipe the floor with them.
No.
Because this Lakers team, I think their biggest flaw is just they can't guard on the perimeter. Like, I think any opposing team with dynamic point guards or guards are just gonna fry them.
Yep.
And OKC, obviously, they're gonna stand no chance against them. They're not gonna stand a chance against the Nuggets. I give them a chance against Houston because Houston doesn't really have
that point.
The dynamic guards. They really just have a bunch of big wings.
Yes,
and bigs. Like, if Reed Shepard is averaging 25 against the Lakers in the series, then you have a major problem.
Absolutely.
So that's why I would give the Lakers a chance in that series. But what can they do? And I mean, you kind of know what you have to do, but it's not that easy to do, to be at that table with OKC and Denver. Because you have Luka Doncic, who's 26, and he is a top 5 NBA player in the league. Yep. And we've seen it in the past. He's had some not so great teams and took them to the playoffs. And I think this team is pretty good. JJ's done a phenomenal job this year. I really think they just need maybe more wing defenders. Like, they would have really loved to have Dorian Finney-Smith on this team.
Oh yeah.
But I think that's the biggest separator for them from being mentioned in the top group.
I like it.
The next team, I guess we could do. I'm gonna go with the Timberwolves. My question for them would would you guys consider your season a failure if you don't go back to the conference finals or the finals?
Mm.
Because they've been to the conference finals the last 2 years in a row, and currently the sixth seed. I don't think anybody thinks they're going to go to the conference finals this year.
Yeah.
But will they view that as a failure of the season?
Mm-hmm.
That would be my question for them.
I like that question because obviously we've seen, like you just said, they've seen them be competitive in the West, especially with the guys that are out there, those teams that are out there in the West. So to answer that question, me personally, I would say absolutely it's a failure, because you have been there, you have tried to improve that roster, um, and it has looked good at times. But from what we've heard, especially last year, you guys gassed out. You guys gassed out at the wrong time, especially against the wrong teams. So my question for them is: do you think this roster is good enough to get you to another Western Conference Finals? And I personally just don't think so. I think you still need another few pieces in order to compete with the all those teams that we mentioned that are above you. Literally every team that are above you, the Spurs, Lakers, Rockets, Nuggets, and Thunder, they all got you. I think they all got you in the playoffs. Like you said about Wemby, he still got to prove that he can stay healthy. But if he can stay healthy, I think the Spurs got there would take care of the Wolves.
Yeah, they got Dante playing point guard.
Yeah, come on, Dante, come on back home, baby. You know where you belong.
Yeah, it's looking rough out there, man. And we got what? We got 3 teams left. We got Spurs, Grizzlies, and Blazers.
Spurs, Grizzlies, and Blazers. Grizzlies. It's my turn, right?
Yeah.
Grizzlies. Are we done with this jaw experiment? Because clearly both sides aren't happy. Jaw's not happy with how they're running the offense, not dominant. Him dominating the ball, and obviously for some reason, the team felt like he was kind of like how the Knicks were last year, where the big one of the biggest complaints was Jalen Brunson was dominating the ball, and that was part of the reason why we didn't. Our offense wasn't as good as it should be at times, especially in the playoffs. Um, that's what the Nuggets, not the Nuggets, the Grizzlies felt like was going on with over the past few years. So that's why they changed it. And then obviously that was a big problem, and they got rid of the coach. I don't know who the coach is now. Do you know who the coach is now for the Grizzlies?
Tomas Isolo.
I have no idea who that is. I have no idea. So, but yeah, it just looks like it's a bad marriage now. It's not looking good. So if I'm the Grizzlies, when are you going to pull the plug? If you do pull the plug, I would to move on from uh, this situation with them.
For the Grizzlies, I feel like maybe I think John Morant is definitely a guy that will probably benefit from a change of scenery.
Oh, that's definitely.
Um, I don't think I don't think he's gonna garner the best return package
No.
just because of all the injuries and stuff. Um, I don't know if you should be so quick to trade Jaren Jackson Jr. I feel like you could probably keep him, but you'll probably get a good return for him. But
Absolutely.
they do have like good young players. I really like Cedric Howard, the
Yes,
the,
he's
the
a lot
Riddler.
better.
He should have been at Duke this year. Um,
Mm-hmm.
Jalen Wells, I think he's pretty good. Scottie Pippen Jr. I think he's good. They signed Santi Aldama is a good player. They signed Kyle Jerome, who hasn't even played this year. So they got a good young collection. Zach Edey, he's been
Yeah.
playing pretty good, but he's dealing with an injury, and he's low key starting to deal with a couple injuries now. But they got 4 first round picks from the Desmond Bain trade, so maybe you could capitalize on it with by trading Jaren Jackson, because I think right now, um, I don't think a team led by John Morant, is going anywhere. Um,
Yeah.
maybe to the first round. That's it. But I don't think a team with John Morant as your leader is gonna be a contender.
Nah, nah. He needs to be a piece to contender.
Yeah. Next, I'm gonna go with the Spurs. Um, my question for the Spurs is: Can we can we protect Wemby for the rest of his career? Because I don't want to. I don't want that man dealing with more injuries this year at all. I think if he misses like 2 or 3 more games, he's not eligible for awards again,
Towards
which
again.
sucks. Because we've been saying for the last like 2 years, like, yo, he's a lock for DPOY. He's a lock. And he's just not going to win just because he hasn't played enough.
Can't
So,
play. Or
can we just protect Wemby at all costs? I don't know what you got to do. Um, and it sucks because he's only 21. And
yeah,
it's kind of scary that we're having this conversation. I feel like if he gets hurt again, you might have to start looking at him like, oh shit, like the trajectory might end up being like. And me and Jordan, we always said like our biggest, like the guy that he reminds us of the most is Ralph Sampson. And people forget about Ralph Sampson, the OG 7'4" from Virginia, Houston Rockets, and his career was short because of injuries.
mm-hmm.
Um, one of the biggest what ifs in NBA history to me, if he never gets hurt, and him
Yep.
and Hakeem are just in the West, just fucking shit up. But yeah, his shit. If he gets hurt again, we might have to start talking about him like heading towards the Ralph Sampson territory
Yep.
because
I like.
this is actually kind of scary. He's only 21 and he's already. And you could say some of his injuries are pretty fluky, but
Right.
it's already concerning, bro. Especially with the size.
Absolutely. Definitely. Size, age, and doing it this early in his career, that's never a good sign.
Mhm.
My question for the Spurs is is it worth with the rumors of Giannis possibly being traded there, is it worth getting rid of these young cats that you got out there? And me personally, my answer to that question is no, it's not worth it. Even though we know what Giannis brings, you would really be depleting your team. You would have to give up pretty much everybody but Wemby. Not everybody, obviously, but you would have to get rid of those key pieces, those young guys, Castle, Harper, Vassell, however you say his name.
So,
Um, Vassell, there you go. Uh, I wouldn't do that, especially what we're seeing them do right now without Wimby being out there. Um, I don't think it's a good idea for them. So my question for them is, how tempted are you to go compete this year with or without Wimby being in the lineup? And if Wimby does go out and it's for a long period of time, does that put pressure on you to go make a move or go get Giannis? Like we see a lot of teams sometimes get panicked, especially when they're in those kind of conversations where, oh, you guys are in a contending conversation and something goes wrong and the player goes out or something like that, then they make a knee-jerk reaction and they go make these trades and it ends up hurting them for the next, not just that season, but the next 5, 10 seasons. So I'm really curious to see, especially anybody for that matter that's in the Giannis conversation, but especially the Spurs team. Because when I saw their name come up in the conversation, it just didn't make sense to me. It
yeah.
just did.
I feel like that would be the only way they would like make a trade if Wemby gets hurt again, and they probably will feel like we gotta rush this because we don't know how long Wemby's like window is gonna be.
Yeah.
So because you're probably thinking like, yo, if you could get Wemby for one playoff run healthy, that's all
Right.
you need.
Mm-hmm.
So they might feel more pressure to pull that trigger.
Yep.
But then it's tough because, like I said before, Giannis has been hurt the last couple playoffs, and imagine pairing
Mm-hmm.
him with Wemby, and they both hurt at the same time. And now you don't got Dylan Harper and whoever.
Exactly. That's something that's going to haunt you for the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And going on to, I believe, the last team,
Yeah.
which I haven't really paid too much attention for two reasons. One, Dame not being there, and two, Billups not being there. Billups is a coach that I was believing in to turn this team around and make some develop these guys. But ever since that, I haven't really been paying much attention. So for me, my question to the Trailblazers is next year when Lillard comes back, what is your plan? Because how old is Dame? He's what,
Dame
33?
is 35.
God damn. 35 popped in my head, but I'm like, there's no way he's that old because that's making me
So
old.
he'll be
God.
36 next season.
Oh, I feel so old. I
Yeah, he
remember.
was born in 90.
God damn,
Yeah.
he built a year before me. God damn, I thought I was older than him. Damn, he's making me feel old. But yeah, it's the plan. Oh well, that kind of answers my question. If him being that old, then I don't expect much from Dame after that. He's an old guy, so I I I don't I'm at loss for words with the Trailblazers.
Um, my question for the Trailblazers will be, how can we capitalize on this young talent? Because they're another team I feel like they have young talent, but they're not. I want to say they're kind of like. I'm not gonna say they're like the Hornets, but like I was saying about the Hornets, they have talent and they shouldn't be as bad as they are. I feel like with the Blazers, they have the talent and unfortunately they play in the West.
Yeah,
So you got to cut them a little bit of slack. They were the only team to beat OKC this year.
yeah,
Um, but
true.
I do like the young pieces. Denny Avdia. I posted it on the Instagram the
Yep,
other day. The tweet that I had about Denny from 5 years ago, saying this guy's gonna be good.
yep.
Um, I really like him. I like Shaden Sharp. I like Donovan Clean. Um, Scoop TBD. I was so high on Scoop. He hasn't even played this year.
My
Um,
question for you, as far as they go, how did you feel about the trade last year? I think it was this offseason. Um, of moving on from Simon, because I was a big fan of Simon. I thought he could have been the franchise player for them going forward.
I like Anthony Simons. I knew the writing on the wall was there for him, like for not being in Portland. I didn't think that Celtics
Yeah,
was gonna make that trade. I always envisioned him being somewhere in like Orlando, where he could be
cool.
that lead shot creator that they need. But Desmond Bain is kind of taking that role. Um, so that I guess the Celtics pretty much being the ones to get him is what shocked me. But I think Drew Holiday being there has really set the tone for this
I
team.
forgot
Um,
about you.
they got a grown man in the locker room, one of the best defensive guards, and this team is they're predicated on their defense. Um, I feel like this team is just missing like a young stud that like you could just. This was the number one team for me last year. I was like, if there's a team that deserves Cooper Flag, it's the Portland Trailblazers.
That's a good point.
That was the team for me. So I feel like the Blazers. I feel like they're in need of just some young stuff. Like if they were to get the number one pick, I'm happy because they're the team that actually deserves it. Um,
1,000%.
but I feel like that's kind of what they're missing. They're missing like that young stud. I mean, Denny is really good. Like he's playing like damn near all star.
Yeah,
But I think Denny's also like 25, which isn't old. He's still young.
right,
But you
right.
need like a young stud, I feel like, and then maybe you have him and Denny together, and then you just
Exactly.
go from there. Um,
Yep.
so yeah, if they could get um, if they could get AJ or maybe shit, if they could get Darren Peterson, and he's sitting
Yep.
behind Damian Lillard for a year, and then he's
That's
ready to just take off. I think that'll be really good for them. Or even if they get Cam Boozer, um,
oh yeah, definitely.
get Jeremy Grant out of there, and you have Cam Boozer in that lineup with all them guys. I feel like that could be pretty good too. So I feel like they're missing one of those young guys before they could take that next step.
Yeah, I
So
agree.
that's the 30 questions for 30 teams. I knew it was gonna be a long one because it's anything that has to do with every single team,
Oh yeah.
or at least the whole conference, is always gonna be pretty long. But the last thing we got is our NBA Cup semifinal predictions. The games are tonight. We have the Knicks versus the Magic at 5:30, and then we got the Spurs and Thunder at 9 o'clock. What are your predictions for each game?
Obviously, let's go Knicks. We always put the matchup between us and the Magics are always is really good. Um, it's always a good matchup. They've had our number though, especially with Franz. He's been busting our ass, but he's not playing this game, so that's definitely a plus for us. But even more, I'm more confident in our team now because of the return of OG. His defensive presence means a lot. It makes a big difference, especially for our team on defense. Um, and then, him, like you said, with Bridges, and Mitchell Robinson, with them three on the floor together, I love watching them three play because it's like obvious those are our three best defenders on the floor when they're all together. Um, and Mitch doesn't even have to do much. He's just the back end. Those two are doing everything up front, and then if they get past them, Mitch just cleans up everything else. So I love seeing that. Um, JB's been on a tear, especially the last game. It looks like this Knicks team really wants to go get it this year. So I'm confident that we can beat this Orlando team. It's not going to be easy though. We know that it's not going to be easy, but I think we get that. And then going on to the West, um, OKC Wimby, I think that's going to be a fireworks game. I think you mentioned yesterday that Wimby is going to be back for this game, so that makes it even more interesting and must-watch TV. But that being said, I think it's going to be too much for Wimby to come back in this game against that team. Uh, I would have gave the. I want to pick the Spurs. Like I want to see an upset and see the Spurs do it, especially the way they've been playing lately with those young guys. But I think Wimby, this being his first game back in a big game like this, he's not going to have enough in order for him to get the team over the hump. But that being said, I can see the team possibly trying to hide around it a little bit and they make a run. But I think this OKC team is just going to be too much defense, too much offense. They just too much everything. So
Yeah,
I think they edge them out. I think they win by anywhere from 5 to 10 points.
yeah, I can see that. I'm gonna go with the second game first. OKC Spurs. I'm gonna go with OKC. I don't think the Spurs have an answer for Shea, and I think it is a big time game for Wemby to step back into. I'm happy he is playing though because I feel like he'll make the game a lot better. Um, I want to see how Stephon Castle handles this pressure against OKC. I
Yeah.
think that's going to be the one thing I'm looking into because OKC is going to pressure the shit out of the opposing guards, and I just want to see how he handles that. If he's comfortable, if it makes him uncomfortable, and let's see how De'Aaron Fox kind of.
Yeah.
I feel like he's going to be looked at to set the tone in this game. I feel like it's going to be a lot to ask of Wemby to set that tone. He's just coming back from injury, so I feel like it's going to be De'Aaron Fox's job to set that tone off with. Um, Magic Knicks. I got the Knicks. Like I said yesterday, I hate playing Orlando because this year, every single time we've played them, somebody's went down.
Yeah.
Um,
Knock on
but
wood.
yeah, knock on wood, nobody gets hurt this time. I do like our chances. No Franz. Um, Franz is usually the one that kills us. Um, Desmond Bain, I feel like we have to keep him in check.
Oh
Um,
yeah.
I feel like we gotta get physical with him. We gotta piss him off. I wish this was like football. Like I love how in football you could just like shove a dude and you're
Yep.
not getting a flag,
Mm-hmm.
or you could like say some shit and like if I was on the Knicks and I was just some role player, I would be on some Charles Oakley shit, and just
Yeah,
like I'd just be talking crazy to Desmond Bain, grabbing his jersey,
exactly.
fighting through screens. I might punch him or some shit,
Yep.
just to piss him off. Like I'm trying to get him a technical or something.
I low
But
key
in this NBA,
yeah.
you could dunk on somebody and be like, and you're getting a tech. So you can't really do that. But yeah, I would try to get Bane out the game. Um,
Absolutely.
try to piss him off. Be super physical with him. Be super because he's built like a football player. Like I
Oh
feel
yeah.
like he's trying to
Biggest-
play aggressive too, and he can handle that. But I would try to get in his head and piss him off, just like
Yep.
how Jalen Suggs tries to do with everybody else.
Yep.
Jalen Suggs kind of takes on that role for their team, where he tries to
Yep.
piss people off. He'll get in your face. He's clapping in your face and all that. So I would try to do that to Desmond Bain, try to piss him off. I would also try to piss Jalen Suggs off too, because a
Yeah.
motherfucker like him who played football, he's gonna be aggressive.
Absolutely.
He's gonna be seeing like he's the type of guy if you celebrating in his face, he's gonna be mad.
That
And
personal.
I would love to see him get mad. It's moments like these where I'm like, damn, I wish I was on the Knicks just to be
Yep.
the Charles Oakley type of guy or the John Starks type of guy. I
Mm-hmm.
would headbutt the shit out of Jalen Suggs. I would take the fine. But I think it's gonna be a tough game. It's gonna be a gritty game. I
Yep.
think the keys to this game is take care of the basketball because Orlando, not only do they like to play physical and they want to make you turn the ball over, but they also don't turn the ball over as a team. So you got to make sure you take care of that ball because they're not really gonna cough the ball up like that. And you got to keep the other guys in check because I'm afraid of guys. I'm not gonna say I'm afraid, but I would watch out for guys like Anthony Black,
Mm-hmm.
Tristan Da Silva,
Yep.
because those are the guys that are gonna end up being like they're
Important.
the guys that might just hit like fucking 4 threes in a game. You're just like,
Yep.
all right, bro. The Wendell Carters, um, yeah, those are the guys you got to keep in check. And I don't know why I'm not really afraid of Paulo tonight. Maybe tonight's the night he wakes up. I would rather Paulo drop 35 and everybody else doesn't do shit
Yeah.
than
Absolutely.
for Desmond Bain to be cooking.
Yep.
Anthony Black hits 5 threes. Tristan Da Silva hits 4 threes. Jalen Suggs 5 threes. Like, yeah, I don't want to see Desmond Bain going crazy. I'm starting to hate Desmond Bain, low key.
Same.
I'm starting to hate that dude, and this is low key turning into a rivalry.
Oh yeah.
This Knicks Magic. But I'm excited for this game. I'm really excited. So, and there's no hate towards Magic fans. I don't have any hate. This is just me as a fan talking. Because I'm
Yeah.
not gonna lie, when I go on Twitter, I don't see Magic fans talking shit like that. So
Yeah. Exactly.
I don't have beef with Magic fans. It's just me as a fan. Like obviously, I think Desmond Bain is a really good player, and I think this is something that the game needs.
Absolutely.
These rivalries like this, like I don't hate Desmond Bain for no reason. It's just he's a good player
Exactly.
going against my Knicks. He threw the ball at OG. Like
Absolutely. We gotta get.
so
We gotta
that's
get
what
our
it
get
is.
back on.
That's what it is. That's
For
gonna
sure.
do it for today's episode of the NBA podcast. Appreciate you for pulling up again. You're always welcome. Um, if you got anything you want to plug, I told you guys at the start. By the time it comes out, check out our episode that we did on his show.
Yes,
If
sir.
you got anything else you want to plug, you can do it now.
Yeah, so like you said, just dropped the first episode of the Jones with Jones podcast yesterday. First guest, our guy Justin right here was there. So it's out now. But I will make sure that I'm as soon as I get off from here, I'm gonna post the shorts, the little videos and stuff like that, so you guys can get a little bit of the highlights, and then you guys can go check it out as well. So other than that, Justin, as always, appreciate you having me. It's always fun, and we'll definitely have some more fun and have you, of course, come back on the pod, on my pod as well.
But, all right, if you guys are
Knicks,
listening
baby.
on, yeah, let's go Knicks. Yeah. If you guys are listening on audio, please give us 5 stars. Please like. If you're watching on YouTube, please like, comment, subscribe. I think we hit 300 this morning, so we appreciate y'all.
Let's
Um,
go.
Follow us on TikTok at the J&J Podcast. Follow us on Instagram at the JJ Podcast 1. We appreciate you, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.
Yeah.